Warren, you're in charge of
And
today.
we're not live.
You're in charge of the intro, Warren.
That was the intro. I just started the thing, and now you just stuffed it up.
And the dogs are barking.
And then you have to talk about our sponsors. Ruka.
Our sponsor, not sponsor.
Couple
Monster.
of Ruka boys. Why don't you start with what we're doing? And I am actually still here.
So
You just can't see
we
Producer Al.
got a new setup today. We are mixing things up a little bit. We're doing an only jiu-jitsu podcast, and old Rourke over here, the troublemaker, has moved from the laptop to the hot seat, and Al's taking a chill session there in the cool, dark
Yeah,
producer
in the
corner over here.
hot, sweaty booth over here. Jeez.
You know the problem is when people watch this, they don't quite understand like the setting that you're sitting in. They only see this wall and this table,
Yeah.
but they don't understand that it's like 9,000 degrees Celsius up here
Picture three men in a sauna with microphones.
with their clothes on.
They also don't understand how small it is. Actually, we'll just have like multiple guests on, it'll be fine. But this is, if you take two steps that way, you're dropping a story off into nothing.
Into the oblivion.
And
yeah.
then over here is where cats jump to their death.
Yeah, that's when my cat gets suicidal.
Whenever someone comes in, they're like, "Oh, but I just brought someone with me." It's like, shit, bro, this is gonna be tight.
It's be warm. We're about
So-
to get to know each other very well.
So the goal of this is just to chat more about the local jiu-jitsu scene. We've been getting a lot of guys messaging us saying, "Oh, you started talking about jiu-jitsu, then went back to MMA. Come, you need to do more jiu-jitsu." So we're listening, and we'll do hopefully one
month,
episode
yeah.
every month, and just update everyone. Unfortunately, there's not as much jiu-jitsu news as there is MMA. So yeah, it seems about the right ratio at this stage, but see what happens. And then Al's gonna play Mr. Producer in these
Damn
events,
straight. Sure.
and then you get to look at Rourke.
The R. Kelly video shortcuts on the iPhone.
I ain't a fan of no R. Kelly, boy.
But on that though, don't you think jiu-jitsu is definitely growing though? It feels like
No.
it definitely feels like we're getting more stuff. It's definitely hitting the mainstream a bit more.
Well, I think globally jiu-jitsu is growing at a very rapid rate, but locally, obviously, the loss of SABJJF has been, whether you like them or dislike them, it was a big loss to the community. Because now,
Yeah.
I mean, the amount of gi jiu-jitsu events that we're doing now is almost none. I mean, this will be the second one of the year, like big, actual, like well-participated event. And it seems like the scene's pretty much moved to primarily no-gi, which I love no-gi, but you need both of them,
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I saw your face sneak up on this. Al, can we get the under 75?
There's Josie's squad member.
Josie
Luke
squad, Luke.
Sorry. Was here.
We're going to have Alan Monet and Jason van der Merwe on just now to actually chat about Submission Quest.
Oh, money.
But just so, I mean, I had a lot of people asking me why I pulled out of Submission Quest. One of two reasons. Rourke pretty much, wouldn't say got snubbed, but he wasn't really like in the running because I was in it. And they were trying to keep it at like one competitor per gym. So with that in mind, I opted to defer my invite for Rourke to compete. And then on top of that, it's my 10-year wedding anniversary next week. So my wife wasn't the happiest of campers that we couldn't go and celebrate. So yeah, so those were the two main reasons.
His wife, my sister, she's vicious.
We're both more scared of her than anything else.
Yo.
So yeah, next weekend, how you feeling?
I'm stoked. I'm flipping stoked to compete.
Yeah,
I went to catch these guys. I'm actually really stoked with my side of the bracket, actually.
it's a good bracket.
Some say you got the easier road in.
Oh, yeah, the only brown belt and purple belt in the whole division's on your side.
I'm stoked.
Yeah,
I'm stoked to be on the side of the brown belt.
This is like you guys were talking about SABJJF. And I mean, I did a couple of their comps, and it was like the cream of the crop kind of thing.
Yeah.
It was like international standard. Was really, really cool. So it was really
they were well-run events.
Yeah.
Good venues, nice mats.
So it kind of left like this hole for quite a few months as to where to now, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think guys that are taking initiative like this, that are looking at like the international kind of competitive scene and then putting their own little twist on it, like I've always thought an invitational, and I spoke to some guys that know way more than it about me, and I was like, wow, then we do like invitational, throw some money. They're like, invitational, no one will come. Throw money, even less people will come, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know so much. But the scene is almost, it's grown in the absence of SABJJF in some sort of way, you know what I mean? Which is quite cool. And I think this is going to be the spark of a lot of cool new things to come, I reckon.
Yeah.
I think next year we'll see a lot of these style tournaments coming through. These like invitationals, quintet type events.
I've already heard of a couple that are already going to come in next year. Guys talking like 20 grand prize pools. They can do like best brown belt in South Africa, best purple belt in South Africa type of stuff.
But even just look at the last like 6 months of this year, we had Submission Kings in Durban, which was a super well-run event. You had like a cool, like even if it's not much to start with, you had a cool absolute division victory. Like you won a rash guard that said champion on it. Like we never had that before. So even though SABJJF is gone, maybe it's like created this. It's like made people step up, you know, and make these tournaments.
The only thing I'm not concerned about, but the only thing that's sad is that gi competition's almost fallen away. It's like we've had 2 events, and they're actually the same event. It's just the same event got pushed earlier into the season. So we had the International Pro at the beginning of the year, and we've got it now this coming weekend. But those are the only 2 big gi events we've had the entire year. So I mean, it's pretty sad because, you know, some guys prefer gi, some guys prefer no gi, some guys want to do both. So yeah, I think while the no gi scene has definitely grown, the gi scene has taken a hammering. I suppose I'm forgetting about the Arnold. The Arnold also had a gi division in it, but yeah.
Do you think it might have something to do with maybe the slower style that is when you watch gi? You know, it's like a little bit more calculated. Sometimes the guys just maybe stall a little bit.
Yeah, I think it definitely plays a factor because no gi for the most part is way more exciting to the like lower ranked or the lower graded practitioners,
like us,
and it's a lot easier for people to watch who don't know a lot about jiu-jitsu, whereas gi is a lot slower, a lot more it's very technical because there's a lot more elements to it, and I think it doesn't appeal a lot to like your casual fan, so it definitely does have a factor. But I really miss the fact that we had like a flourishing gi competition scene, and now it's completely gone.
Also, there's nothing better than like wearing a crisp gi.
Oh yeah,
like you got a nice crisp gi, you feel like.
Yeah.
Do you think
bucks.
like gi competitions are also more? How would you say? It's more traditional, so it's more kids are involved in gi competition because it's that traditional setting of a Saturday morning, early in the morning, throwing on your gi, putting on your belt, you know, like different gradings that have happened in the week. So you got the kids get to see their cool colors and belts and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you reckon like the lack of gi competitions had effect on the kids' numbers?
I don't think so, because there's actually been quite a big amount of quite a big kids division in these ADCC events. So no, I don't think it's like hit it too hard. I think gi jiu-jitsu, as in terms of the participation levels at a gym, in gyms, and like actually kids getting into gyms, I think that's exploding at this stage. There's just no outlet for competition, and I mean, we got our kids are forever asking us when can we compete in the gi, you know, and there's just no outlet for it at the moment. So I mean, short of me like stepping up and running my own event, like I can't really do much for them, you know. So you kind of need either a UAE Jiu-Jitsu Federation to start throwing more events in the gi, or you need another organization to come in and establish a new calendar of events, and either they must affiliate to the IBJJF system or the UAE Jiu-Jitsu Federation system, which Kurt already does. But I don't actually know what the answer is, to be completely honest.
I just want to ask about this UAE JF, this international pro that's happening. What is it?
Saturday.
This Saturday.
This Saturday.
So this Sunday. From what I understand, Saturday is weigh-ins, Sunday is the event.
So no grappling on Saturday.
From what I've gathered, yeah.
Okay.
I messaged the BJJ events SA page.
So in terms of competition and gi competition in South Africa, this is as big as it gets.
Yeah.
What is
in Africa? This is the biggest in Africa.
What is the significance of this event?
Well, this is basically a qualifier for the World Pro Jiu-Jitsu Cup. And from my understanding is you can still go if you don't win here. But this is part of the AJP tour. You get your tour points. So you get some of the international black belts come out because they want to get those points to be on the leaderboard for the King of the Mat series. So, I mean, it's pretty big because there's a lot of like new faces. You see some black belts you've never seen before. There's some Brazilians that come out. The Angolans come out. It's going to be an awesome event to watch. But yeah, it falls in part of that AJP tour. It works towards the World Pro Jiu-Jitsu Cup. Yeah, and it's definitely going to be a well-run event. It's Kurt and those guys again. They've had phenomenal events the entire year. So if anyone's in the Johannesburg, Benoni region, they should definitely get down there to have a watch.
I heard that you can. You don't have to win it to get there, but if you do, apparently you get put into the seeded bracket. Whereas if you just go over, you have to like fight to get into the tournament. If that makes sense.
And there's a lot of fights already when you get there.
Yeah.
So to go first through the qualification in Abu Dhabi and then go through the actual tournament, that's like pretty heavy, and it all happens over the space of like 2 days.
Yeah. A lot of people don't actually realize that we've had like piles of South African competitors go over there and compete for South Africa, and it's quite funny. Like unless you know it's happening, you'll never know about it, which is quite strange.
We've even had champions. Martino won. Martino won Masters, won brown belts, I think. And we've had Peyton, I think, came second at blue belt level. We've had loads of guys go over and do pretty well. I know Will's gone over a couple of times, and do you ever remember the first one that happened? I think it was like 2010, that qualification, and it happened in one of those like sketchy ass halls, but it was like super well. There was like a high level participation, and then
Gavin won that, didn't he? Gavin or Dino?
Yeah, Gavin definitely won. I remember Jess Hill went over as well. Yeah, it was a great event. I don't know if we've had any other champions though, barring Martino. None that I can think of. I know Chris has gone over. I know last year we got a blue belt Masters bronze, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we've had like relative success. It's just difficult, you know. It's like it's the creme de la creme of the jiu-jitsu world that pitch up there, and it's tough to win at that level, you know.
Well, why don't you open up the smooth comp page, man? Why don't we have a look at some of those divisions? When does Jay want to get on?
Let me find out quickly.
Oh, actually, it's not on Smooth Comp. You have to go to AJP.
AJP Tour, yeah.
AJP Tour. Any air conditioning companies that sponsor the podcast?
Any silent air conditioning.
Hit us
anybody
up
who
on
specializes
sponsorships.
Okay, so what are we looking for here?
So it'll be the Johannesburg
You like scroll.
National Pro.
You like scroll. Thanks, bro.
So see, there's like little
It's up. There we go.
There's a little rectangle on the computer there. You like
it's right in front of you. It's right in front of you. It says Johannesburg right in front of you.
Oh my goodness, it's gone.
It's
gone.
left.
That's Croatia. It's not here. We're not competing there. Colombia.
There we go.
Slow down, boys.
You see how chirpy he is when he's on this side now.
That Colombia one, like, there's a cool table where you do like a line and then you're onto the mat. It's awesome.
I think you need registrations because the restrations haven't been closed.
Hashtag go Shannon.
Hashtag go Shannon. Oh! Sending you down the river, yeah.
Cut me deep, eh? Are you one of the guys who said rear naked choke for Shannon, eh?
Yes.
Who's the guy that said Rourke by anything he wants?
Jonathan Vint.
Oh, there we go. That's the kids division.
Some kids.
Let's try and see what's happening in the black belt division. Because I'm sure like some of those Dubai-based black belts are coming over.
For sure, there's going to be something going.
It would be good to get some cross-pollination from some of our top MMA guys competing at this. I know guys like
this is my weight class, yeah.
Oh, you can take them.
120 kilos.
No, that's white belt, channel.
I'd be under there.
That's white belt.
You got
are a
it.
blue belt.
Oh, you can enter that kids division. Don't let them stop you.
Those bastards.
Wait, you missed the best one, the blue under 65.
Who's blue under 65? Is Chris Wilson still in blue under 65?
No, he said he's not going to compete. You got to do. I think he was under 62.
Male.
Imagine doing under. Then you have to go
Under
up
75 next
What is
weekend,
what
I
is
think.
master? Brett
So
Simon.
35 and over is master 1.
Fuck, I'd be a master.
Or 30 and over is master 1. And 35 and over is master 2, I think.
Okay, Brown, James Jamel, Alan Cliff, Josh Muller, Brown Master.
Oh, just keep. I'm gonna go up.
Guy Black, Henry
Oh, yeah.
Cardoso, Namibia.
Silvio Bering Jiu-Jitsu, Namibia.
Well done, Henrik. You now have a gold medal.
At black belt.
Walter dos Santos, some big fellas from Angola, Tamara Son.
No, that's
Marcelo
female
Monte,
Guy
okay.
White.
Yeah, that's all the blacks. There's a couple of incompletes here. Let's see.
We need to get more of our black
Johan
belts. competing.
Oosthuizen, black belt. Who's
Yeah.
that?
He's fucking good, bro. I think he has like that Soul Brothers gym or something like that in Cape Town.
Jose
In like the Western
Santana.
Cape. I don't want to say Cape Town because I know it's actually outside of the city. But he goes to PE a lot and rolls with Chris, and Chris always talks about how the Zoke smashes him. So I've heard Zoke's like quite a. I've never rolled with him, but I heard he's quite a beast.
Okay.
I mean, like Chris is good. So if Chris is saying Oaks are smashing him, it's definitely a big compliment. I don't know what's happened with the submission quest, guys. Oh, hold on. Let's see. Facebook call.
Yeah.
You gonna Facebook call Jason or Al?
Jason.
Before we start that, I think I might need to fix that camera. What does it look like? I'm out of the picture, yeah.
You had one job, bro.
Look
Yo,
at that.
stop
One
going
job,
that way,
Chana.
bro. Stop
One
going. No,
job.
leave
Let
it,
me
leave
fix
it. Can you see yourself?
Barely.
Like this?
Yeah, but then stop going that way, bro, and move more this way.
Okay.
Let
Just
logic.
cut this part out.
I will never let logic prevail.
We are an unedited podcast.
This is unedited, bro.
I was-
I don't have time for editing. I'm afraid. You had one job at the beginning of the podcast, boy.
Rourke, can't even trust you away from the computer.
It's all punchy from all of those times. Keep it open. Oh, you guys talk about how.
BK. Nobody panic.
Yes.
Knock this kid out, bro.
Okay, let's
Cool.
video call this out.
Ooh.
Don't put a
Give it a
coffee on top of
second.
a
Yeah,
monster.
it might be
creates
loud. I'm just gonna warn everybody.
coffee on top of a monster.
be.
It creates this.
It could be softer.
Yeah.
Just a touch softer. Hey, what monster coffee sandwich in your stomach?
Yo.
Have you heard of that drink, the bear fight?
Hey, Chana, how you?
Alright, and you?
Good.
Not your best look.
Thanks. Give me like 5 minutes. I'm just locking up here quickly.
Okay, sweet
boy.
Chana.
Okay, chat to
Okay.
you. Bye. Peace.
No, you're not gonna find
Call
us.
you next week, bro.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I know we get shouted out for going off to Jutsu, but have you ever heard of that drink, the bear fight? Oh, you should know this when you're in a bar.
Bear claw.
But no, bear fight. You do a Guinness with it's something that's like an Irish drink and American drink. I think you do like a J&B with, in like, what's an American beer? In like a Budweiser, and then a Guinness with Irish whiskey. And then you drink them at the same time. And it creates this little thing in your stomach that they call bear fight. It sounds terrible.
I'm looking for a video. Apparently.
That would put me in the
Pearl.
hospital, I
The
reckon.
best beer I ever had was Butter beer at the Harry Potter World. You know how good that thing is. It's like literally like crystal meth. I promise you, it's immediately addictive.
I think someone made a meme out of your Instagram story when you tasted it.
It was so good, bro. It was so good. What you looking for?
I just want to see there's a video of Pearl Gonzalez breaking some chick's arm.
That was it.
Yeah. Here we go. In combat jiu-jitsu. I thought it was fight.
Oh yeah, there was the Combat Jiu-Jitsu World Championships.
Chicks
this
hate each
weekend.
other, hey?
Chick
Just breaking limbs.
Chick fights can be
Why would
vicious.
you want to break someone's limb?
She's also A-team. A-team sweetheart.
Oh, can you enlarge it as well?
I don't want to see this.
She can. No.
No,
you
man. Why would you do
Yeah,
that?
I'm actually
It's
glad.
Fight pass.
One
that's
of my
why.
worst things is watching people break. Oh no.
She's staying alive a little longer than you might think. Oh, it's gonna break. That was break.
Oh.
Is that all we get to see?
She took the arm off. Ooh, it broke. It broke.
Oh, we're going to see another angle.
Nasty break.
I don't want to see another.
How's Beltran's beard back? Didn't he shave it off?
You can see it.
It grows back in like
It's
2
a full
weeks.
break.
I swear he shaved it
Oh,
off.
look at her elbow there.
We gotta get these. We gotta get these
Oh.
medics out there right now.
Replay.
Not what you want to see.
Oh, my God.
Victory showing ultimate respect.
Oh my
Oh
god.
no.
Oh my god.
Stop. Stop.
Break.
That is rough.
I feel
We're going to
sick.
show a
Great
replay.
display of
No, I
talent,
don't think so.
but
Let's
Oh,
just go
thank
quick.
goodness.
to know
Let's just start it again and see if we
Please
can see
don't.
it. But it's like the angle's all weird. You can't see it.
Agreed. It was a big weekend of jiu-jitsu. We had Sparta International Combat Jiu-Jitsu World Championships.
Oh, when your arm is extended
play,
like that, there is
you buggers.
nothing but damage coming. Are involved in
Okay, here we go.
Okay, so that's it there.
Because her legs are involved in this. She's
Oh,
staying
there.
alive a little longer.
She was quite a good sport though. She like held it for her, like put it back.
It broke. Nasty break.
That's what Rourke does to kids' ankles.
You
Yeah.
can see it there.
It's a full break.
So
We gotta get
Except
these-
in
we gotta get
fairness-
these medics.
You have like,
let's go to the Flow Grappling website. I just want to just go through the results from this weekend's host of events. Did anyone get to watch Gary Tonin versus Davi Hamos?
I didn't.
Oh my goodness. They're calling that fight of the year so far.
Damn it.
It was so good. No submission, but 9 gazillion submission attempts.
Flow grappling. Please make your subscription cheaper.
Yeah, flow grappling for real. $13 a month. You can go for
I
yourself.
can give you my login details.
What was it? Fight to win.
Just chuck them up there.
Yeah,
on the screen.
there was fight to win. And that's upcoming events. You need to go to the results.
Booyah.
Yeah, there we go.
Hey, check, that guy's got the same gear as me.
No, he doesn't. He's got a real one.
His didn't come from Bangladesh, boy. This thing wants me to subscribe. What's his problem? I'm sure I have.
I can give you login details.
I've got it. I've
No,
got
you've
a
got my
subscription.
login details, don't you?
Yeah, I don't know if I still have it.
It starts with the F. No, log in with mine, dude.
Yeah, just maybe WhatsApp me, bro.
You had one job.
You had one job. Rourke, while Warren's off camera and we hashtag waffle, why don't you hit us with a rhyme there, boy?
A ram. I
Yeah.
can't rap.
So, one last message for your opponent at Submission Quest.
I don't have just one. I have multiple.
Send them now. Look into the camera and give us your message.
Yeah, Warren was like, they released the matchup. Warren's like, I'm
Okay,
gonna go
but
straight
look
up.
into the camera and send your message.
I don't have a message. I'm just coming to collect my belt and go home.
Collect your belt. When you walked in here, you said you had a warning to all Submission Quest competitors.
I did not.
You did. You said, "Oh, I have a warning for all Submission Quest competitors."
You should be a voiceover artist.
I should be, hey. Rourke said, "You're all dead."
How are we going to stop people from seeing my password?
It surely will be the
Yeah,
dots.
it'll be blocked. out.
Warren, will you fix the camera?
Ah, now I'm also the skibby, yeah?
You don't see this on the Joe Rogan podcast.
I was listening to that one where he debunks the Game Changers
Yeah,
documentary.
jeez, dude. Chris is no joke, though, eh?
Huh?
Does he debunk it hardcore?
Yeah, he gets this dude on that they basically rip the entire thing to shreds. They-
Chris, bro.
This dude that he gets on was an ex-vegan, and he's like, the vegan diet will slowly kill you. Like it literally will. You can't sustain.
I wonder what vegans say about
they're like,
that.
yeah, you can get as much.
lying, obviously. He's lying.
They're like, yeah, you can get as much protein from a peanut butter sandwich and a cup of lentils as you can from a piece of steak. So like, okay, cool. So this dude takes this claim, right? Because they just said a peanut butter sandwich. He takes the amount of peanut butter you would need. It was something like 2/3 of a cup of peanut butter on your peanut
Yeah.
butter. He's like, when have you ever used anything more than like a teaspoon of peanut butter on your?
That's mental though.
This thing ain't working.
And he says the other thing they don't tell you is that you need forgot now. This monster's making me forget.
Yeah, basically, like the underlying message, what I've been trying to say to vegans forever is, if everyone stops and just starts farming.
Oh, that is the
my
loudest thing I've ever
That
heard.
is brutal.
Oh my god, we said we'd call you back.
These eyes flipping heck.
Submission quest, eh? What will you do? What can we do? Hello, sir.
That dude who
How's it?
oh, there you go.
How's it, dude? Are you?
Turn your screen, please, buddy.
Can you flip your screen, Chan?
This way?
Yeah. Just hold on.
Who's that guy?
Does your screen have auto rotate switched on?
Do more. Do better.
Do better. Come on, Al. Wait.
There we go.
There we go. Now we can get to the real talk.
Now we're done. Al, why does it look like you're sitting on the edge of a bag and Jay's pushing you off the edge?
He is. Look.
Are you guys using a 3310?
What's crack-
We're in dungeon areas of Alberton here.
Oh,
Signals of privilege.
Jay, there is two of you, so if you could, keep the camera. There we go.
There we go. What's cracking, guys?
Can you keep it there? No? That's not going to work?
That's terrible. Don't do that.
Wait. We didn't think this.
Hold on.
Okay.
There we go.
That's not
That
bad.
works,
That's not
yeah.
bad. So, guys, you just over a week away from the big day. How's preparation going?
Yeah, no, everything's looking good. Final details on the venue we'll finalize this weekend. Few decor things. All athletes have confirmed. Exciting matchups.
Nice.
Ready to go.
Any new super fight matchups that you got going?
No, not yet.
So it's just Al versus Patrick. Don wasn't too keen on that one, hey?
You're not too keen on it?
No. Don wasn't too keen on that one, hey?
Yeah, I think the meaning behind it is more what people aren't understanding. So we kind of, with it being the first event like this in the country, it's one for us to break the ice, and two, the loser of the match is donating $2,000 to the other guy's charity of their choice.
Nice.
I was chatting to Al. I think he said, what? Save a pug or something? Pug rescue. So Alan's chosen pug rescue. He says he's 100% convinced Patrick's paying $2,000 to abused pugs.
Well, he used way more explicit language when he was messaging me privately about that thing.
Just that
He's like,
emoji.
I'm just gonna fuck this dude up, hey?
There's that emoji like a lot. So
There
that's
was,
all.
there's just this emoji the entire time.
Nothing but fingers.
Guys, so just so we can set the tone for everyone. So obviously there's going to be a kids event in the morning, followed at 12 o'clock by the actual two brackets for the under 75 absolute, over 75 absolute. We've got one of your competitors on the right here. Anything that we should be really looking forward to, like anything that's exciting in round one that the guys should make sure that they're there at the start to see?
Well, even the kids side, we're breaking that up between two sections. So for the first time, we're taking kids that are under 5 and allowing them to have positional rolling only. Just for those kids who want to feel what it's like to step onto the mat and not have the risk of getting hurt and that.
Keep them away from Raw.
The only problem is those kids under 5 are probably Rourke's height.
No, that's definitely perfect training partners. And when we start the kickoffs on the brackets, we'll be running 2 mats for the first round of fights. So simultaneously, you'll have under 75 and over 75 happening at the same time.
Cool.
Until we reach the semi-finals, and then it will be 1 match at a time. So ideally, guys will be coming to support their athletes. And we also don't want to drag this thing out to a point where you're sitting there 6, 7 o'clock in the evening, waiting for it to wrap up,
Yeah. And for the spectators side, there's a cover charge, obviously. How much is it for spectators to come through?
50 Rand entrance.
50 Rand entrance. Awesome. On your side, who are you most excited to see compete out of the 2 brackets?
let's open up there quickly. We're looking at two matchups today, and we're speaking about this. Our two late entries. Obviously, Rourke and Shannon. I think is really, in the jiu-jitsu community, probably two of the lesser known names that we've got up there, but with two big followings. So we're really, really excited for that one. We also interested in seeing how Chris and Guy do against each other after their last round at ADCC.
Semi-teammate versus semi-teammate. It's going to be so interesting. It's going to be
Well, especially if you watch their last round at ADCC, it was really something spectacular. So it's a good matchup. And if we look at the brackets, the way we've matched it is that every guy's got the fairest possible chance of getting through to the final. I don't believe, looking at it, that there's one easy path there for anybody.
Yeah. No, agreed. I'm pretty interested. I heard that Sean Frost guy has beaten Luke Griffith previously. Is that correct?
Yeah, at Submission Quest.
At Submission Quest. So I mean that's a big match. Are they on the same side of the bracket?
No, if both of them win all their fights, they could see each other in the final.
Okay. Well,
Luke's coming from the one side facing Neil first round, and then Sean Frost facing Sean Mayer. So if, for argument's sake, they both win, they could reach and fight each other in the final.
We'll obviously be back our Josie squad member.
Yeah,
Griffith.
100%. Well, what's interesting is that Luke fought Mark Hume at ADCC, and that was like quite a quick match. And now Mark's coaching Neil. So it'll be interesting to see what adjustments they've made in anticipation for what happened at ADCC. Because I mean, I think that bout lasted about 20 or 30 seconds, and it was a heel hook finish from Luke's side. Luke's so good at inverting, getting under you, and getting onto your legs. Yeah.
Luke's also just come.
I think the thing is, what makes it an interesting match is the way Neil grapples. Neil grapples more like a MMA fighter. So that top control, top pressure. So it would be quite cool to see how he goes against Luke, who's quite comfortable on his back, and he's got the dangerous triangles.
No, 100%. So now, once
looking at that matchup, we look like it can go either way. Whether Luke plays comfortably off his back or Neil established the dominance early,
Yeah, no, definitely. So just once, obviously, all this is said and done, when can we expect more of these events? Or is this like a one and done? Or are we going to see a couple of these next year? Or is it going to be one a year? What's the plan?
So we're looking at one annually. So we'll have 3 qualifiers up to the main events at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Of course, a few things we've done, like the titles we've made, and that the competitors that win their brackets are keeping their belts.
Nice.
So hence the reason for the small cover charges and that, so we can keep investing into this event and growing it into something great,
Yeah.
And then we got a sponsor that sponsored a small financial prize for the winners as well.
Oh, nice.
And one of the competitors asked us on the day if we would do a under 75 winner versus the over 75, but that we would keep for the next year's event, because after 3 competitive roles, to then still fight a guy that's possibly 20 kilos heavier than you will be a bit of an issue,
Yeah, no, definitely. So you're saying that the guys who win their brackets won't defend their titles the following year? They'll do a super fight.
They could. So we're still deciding if we do that super matchup at one of the earlier events during the year, or as like at the next event. Because most likely those guys would want to compete, I would say, at the next year's event as well.
Yeah, 100%. Anything from your side, Mr. Buffet?
How are you going to beat Patrick?
By you.
Oh, nice. I like it. Legs.
Just from a PR perspective, guys, maybe let's slow down on the super fight talk, and let's just call it a charity fight.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
The next one is going to be you versus Al.
Oh, Al versus Al. That's
Al-
already
Battle of the L's.
Whoever wins keeps the name.
Bro, when my submission's on, you got to tap 3 times, just so you know.
Awesome, guys. Well, thank you so much. I'm looking forward to it. I'll be there. Rourke will be there.
Most likely.
Al might be there.
Yeah,
I think he's in Durban.
Yeah, I'm in.
No, I'll should come through because we want to put him on the next one. We just said we're going to have medium Al versus BigAl.
Which one's medium, bro?
We can't not have it. If we say we're going to do it, we're going to do it. We can't say we're going to do it and not do it.
Yeah.
And then I reckon we got to see a rematch between you and JD van der Merwe at some point.
Oh,
You know,
Battle
yes,
of the Van der Merwes.
yeah, that's we're looking at the bracket, and actually, when JD came up into the comp, they gave me a call, and he was just happy to have JD compete again. And I actually said, like, if all else fails and we aren't managed to match him and put it together, I'll compete against him. But yeah, man, he's my mate now, man.
That would be
On a side note, you know that France was fighting on the Friday night, MMA, for a title, and then he's
Flying up
happening on Sunday.
on Sunday.
That's
So I
confident.
sent
That's
him a
awesome.
message asking him, so are you part of submission quest? And he said, no, the flight's just 50 minutes to get back.
So on that note, then, what happens if there's an injury or a knockout or something in that match? What have you got someone lined up as a backup?
We've got a few backups for that.
So we've got about 2 athletes in each division that are standing ready if it all falls apart. So a lot of people have looked at how we came around selecting the athletes, and the first criteria is obviously guys who have competed and won at Submission Quest, and then guys who also are actively grappling at other comps. So, and then also as many different gyms as possible to come together. We feel that it's a perfect time and a perfect platform to bring everyone together just for the sake of a fun comp, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are you going to release the names of who these guys are that are on the back burner?
No, because we feel if possible we'd like them to qualify in for next year's.
Okay. Nice. Awesome,
Yeah.
guys. Well done. As I said, I'll be there.
We are
Rourke will
stoked.
definitely be there. We pumped for the event. Yeah, and good luck in the last final stages of your preparation.
And if Rock's looking a bit juicy, don't worry about testing him or anything.
Well, I don't think Rock's making over 75 anytime soon.
Yeah.
I think we saw Chris checking in at 74 point odd the other day. So it's exciting to see the guys building their own kind of brands off this as well, you know?
Yeah.
And
Chris,
us
was
from
that-
outside.
Chris checking in at 74.
Where did he find 10 kilos? And
Oh no, that was me weighing in. Guys guy said to me, "Oh, how are you gonna make 75?" I was like, "I wake up under 75 every day of my life. How am I not gonna make
Oh,
75?" Yeah.
I presumed it was Chris because they were matched when guy posted.
But didn't you roll that middleweight at our other comp?
Yeah, because you're a little shithead and you pushed me up into the middleweight division.
I love
But we had to give you a decent comp.
I walked
We-
I walked onto the mat for the finals and I hadn't seen my opponent yet. And I was like, my back was to him and Rourke looks at me and he looks at my opponent. He's like, oh my goodness.
It looked like it was
like-
Mandile's brother.
I was
I was
like,
like, oh
but
boy.
it's
Who
not.
lets Mzwandile into here? Yeah.
That's going to be
And,
sick.
and the great thing is, nor did your opponent.
Yeah.
Guys, what are the chances of getting like a couple of face-offs before the event?
Yeah.
So we're going to have a media house running around doing some interviews with athletes on the day. We're really trying to stay away from try hyper too much, where we just want the guys to come out, have a good competitive role and roll for what the cause is, you know, and just growing the sport in the country. But I'm sure on the day we can definitely arrange it.
Nice.
If you put your hand up to officiate the weigh-in and the face-offs, then we can do it.
Why don't you get your media house to do it, bro?
Yeah.
But I would do that.
You have to rockside your hair.
No, I'm not Jason van der Merwe.
It's at 3310 you find us off.
I think that's a good idea, though. I think he should peroxide his hair, though,
Oh,
for the
do
comp.
it. Do
We'll
it.
call him Dylan Buffet.
Oh.
I thought he was called Brokey.
Rourke,
I think
yeah.
you should peroxide blonde.
You would think that guy could remember my name, eh? Yo. Patrick was announcing the matchups yesterday on his little show and he butchered my name.
Oh, what do you
I mean,
call you?
everyone butchers my name. So
What do you
it's
call
not-
you?
Wow, can't you remember Dylan Buffet?
We were driving to training. When was it? On Wednesday.
Yeah.
And they had like this massive roadblock as you come into Sunning Hill. And like we were so pissed off that we got pulled over. And like Rourke pulls out his driver's license, gives it to the cop. The cop's like, Mr. Rourke Buffet. No, Mr. RK Buffet. We were like, what? You got it right. He's like, give us whatever fine you want. That was amazing.
Back in the day, I knew when we used to go to those comps like Pretoria.
So,
that's as far-
while we've got you here,
Hashtag waffle.
while we've got you, I know you guys do picks all the time. So why don't we do picks for winners for each bracket from each of you?
Okay. Rourke's
Perfect.
gonna just fuck everyone up. So Rourke
Yeah.
in the under
Bear
75.
with us.
Wait, you gotta pick. It's not just each brackets. You gotta pick the winners of each matches and then
Okay,
the winner
yeah,
winners.
let's do this.
Okay,
let's
wait.
do this.
Okay. Oh,
Wait, let me go to the other one.
over 75.
We can see it right in front of us, Rourke.
Yeah, I
I
don't know
but
why you
this
guys
is
are
nice.
turning
Look at
around.
this.
Get Rourke a step later, you'll be able to see it.
This one tunes me. He's like my height.
Okay, let's
under
see.
75 kilograms.
Okay.
Rourke versus Shannon Van Tonder.
No offense to Shannon, but Rourke fucks that dude up.
I'm with you, Shannon. By heel hook, just by hook or by crook, just fucking beat the soak.
Al's got a 2-meter drop behind him. He's about to get kicked off this platform.
Okay, for that match, I'm also going with Shannon.
Shannon's got a dangerous back tag, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rourke's got a dangerous everything, though. It's fine. Okay, Jamie versus Paul.
I've actually
Obviously,
been calling him Buffet Borg at the gym.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about we do this? So we'll go round 1 wins, and then round 2 wins. Winner of the
Okay.
thing.
So Rourke beats Shannon. Jamie beats Paul. JD beats Francois. And I think Chris beats Guy.
No offense, guy.
I then
Ooh,
think
this round 2 matchup's tough.
I then think Rourke beats Jamie. And then
That's a big call, eh?
Oh, yeah.
You know, Jamie hasn't lost this year in no gi.
I'll be happy to take.
Well,
his
Jamie
own.
also has barely competed this year in Nogi, so I mean, let's be fair. No, I love Jamie's rolling. To be completely
It's
honest,
fun to watch. And he's a
he did phenomenal at ADCC, but obviously
Yeah.
Rourke's my brother-in-law.
Okay, so we
And
all
we're
agree
playing with
Rourke's
them.
going to win here.
Yeah, Rourke's gonna win. I think
Okay, so
I think Chris beats JD, then I think Rourke and Chris in the final, and then obviously I
Oi.
back Rourke.
What
for
is
the
your guys'
win.
rule set if there's no submission at the end of the time?
so we've got a 3-minute overtime round.
Starting from
The
50.
guy who's been dominating the most will choose a toy, select from a coin toss, and he'll choose either backpack or spiderweb, and from there, foster submission or escape wins.
Yeah, and just a slight addition. There is one rule change to the EBR rules regarding reaping and that, or is that fallen away for this pro event?
So what we'll be doing is we'll allow control in the reposition, but not allow attacking in it.
Okay.
Also like
We just obviously we're looking at longevity, and there's so many guys who we feel as soon as something happens at these tournaments, there's a lot that's said, and so we obviously want to allow it where most rules don't, but keep everyone as safe as possible.
Just
Yeah.
with those guys, if the guys got you in a paper cut and you look at him, you're like, bro, this you can feel this on, and then he shakes his head at you. No, it's not on. Don't be surprised if he breaks it underneath your leg.
What a dickhead, eh? Okay, bring up the next the over 75 bracket.
I'm on it.
Okay, so Luke versus Neil. I reckon Luke beats Neil by
Josie squad for
rear
sure.
naked choke. I know that's not his, but he has got a slick back take as well.
Yeah, carry on.
Then I think Josh beats Preston by guillotine. Then
Oh,
Stain by obliteration. I don't know what he's gonna beat that guy with. And then I haven't really seen much from Sean Mayer or Sean Frost. I know Sean Mayer is a purple belt under Brandon, so he must have a pretty decent game. And I've never actually seen Sean Frost compete, but I've heard a lot about him. So I don't actually know what's going to happen there. But whoever wins that match will probably lose the next match.
I know what you're doing, yeah.
Between Luke and Josh,
Unfortunately, we've seen that match about 4 times this year already. So you'd have to go with Luke winning that match again.
And then I reckon we're gonna see.
You predict Stein and Luke final.
Yeah, and now that is a rematch from ADCC Great North Challenge, which Stein won. So you'd have to err on the side of Stein being the favorite there. But my boy Luke's quite dangerous.
Luke's been catching some big names as well. He just beat Cameron Mikes in Durban. He beat Mark Hume. So I think Staines is only lost this year. So I think it'll be a 6.
Stain's a savage, bro.
Can you guys see the screen?
Stein lost this year.
I don't think Stain's lost this year.
I've only ever seen him lost against Ron Potts.
Stain's had a crazy year since last year's fight week at Brave. I mean, he subbed black belts, purple belts, whatever. He got his purple belts at that event and just been on a tear since then. He's like top game. He's like wrestling pedigree so high. So So I think Luke wins this, but I mean you definitely won't be surprised if Stein wins this.
And not easily as well. Like whoever's getting crowned the champ on the 8th is I think definitely deserved it.
Yeah, I think everyone's hoping that Stein and Luke get to the final to rewatch the ADCC match because that was good.
Like
Frozen.
Technical error.
Albertan has cut us off.
Your data's run out.
Should we
Yeah, I think that's proper frozen,
ask them that question about?
Cool guys, chat to you later. Bye.
Well, we can try call them back. Shame we didn't get to say bye properly.
No, it's fine. Don't worry.
Oh,
that's the end of it. So you're feeling confident, Rourke?
I'm feeling flippin' stoked. I think that. Well, this is my first year back competing since I was 16.
Yeah.
Had a bit of a mixed bag of results to start off with, but finding my game a little bit better now.
Yeah.
I think this one's gonna be fun.
So did anyone watch 1106, John? On my phone.
Yeah.
Did anyone watch this weekend's Jiu-Jitsu? Fight to Win, Spada, Combat Jiu-Jitsu Worlds? No.
Unfortunately, I didn't. I was at FFM Open Mat, so.
Yeah, that was Saturday morning. This was a whole weekend of stuff. So we saw obviously Davi Hamos and Gary Tonin have a cracking match. Spada International, we saw Levi Larry Jones and Kanyan Duarte win their respective divisions. And then who won the Combat Jiu-Jitsu Worlds? That was the only one I didn't get to watch. Does anyone know?
I didn't actually get to see, no.
Well, let's see now. I was quickly logging in for us.
Shout out to Fran for sponsoring our flow grappling.
Shout out to Fran. So this guy whose credentials I have, he's one of my best mates.
Sorry, what are we looking for?
The Spada Invitational.
Okay, yeah.
Right there in front of you.
Sorry.
The guy whose flow grappling account we're using, or flow sports account, won the Tempen Bowling.
We're allegedly using.
Won the Tempen Bowling World Cup this weekend, which is pretty massive.
Tempen Bowling World Cup.
Yeah. He is the number 1 bowler in the world as of this weekend.
He is
Second
he's
South
one of the
African
only
ever
people
to
I
do it.
know. More impressive than that, he's one of the only people I know to finish Gran Turismo 4 to 100% completion.
Oh yeah, that is phenomenal, bro.
I only got to 84%. To finish the game, you had to complete. I think it was like 5 or 6 24-hour races.
No, he was intense.
So he finished Le Mans. Like
he was also one of those guys that used to do like those 2 million point tricks on Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
So he didn't play TV games, is what you're saying?
No, he was pretty useless at TV games.
Cool.
Okay, so yeah.
Do you want to flick through the results of some video? Yeah, we can check out.
Yeah.
as well.
Is there a highlight video on flow
Let's see
grappling?
what we got.
How much is flow grappling going to sue us for watching the video on our podcast?
No, just watch a highlight or something.
Yeah. I suppose if they're more likely to sue us than that other thing.
There's like individual matchups, no? Like
Yeah.
What is our
highlights.
timestamp?
Well, there was like
looking
this weird fight. I don't know if you guys watched that Marigali Herbert Santos thing. Like Marigali and Santos had like this massive like
Flow grappling for sure, don't kick us off.
had this massive like fight. Like it was super competitive. They were trying to sweep each other.
Nicholas Marigali versus Herbert Santos.
There was like they swept each other in the beginning.
Nicholas was a brown belt.
Then Herbert like does what Herbert does best, and he like just fucking gave up. He was like, "Oh, I'm not even going to defend this." He's like, "Just Kimura me, just Americana me. Like I don't give a fuck." They were like, "What are you doing?" Eventually, Marigali just stood up and was like, "This is so ridiculous."
What gear is that?
I think they all wear spider gears at this event.
Oh.
This looks crazy, bro.
God puller.
Hey, shut up. I'm a guard puller.
Herbert Santos, when he's like on form, is one of the greatest to ever do it. But he's hardly ever on form. He's an absolute nut job.
Well, I think I might as well go full screen if they're going to kick us off anyway.
Yeah.
Might as well see the whole thing.
So I think in about like 5 minutes or so.
Dude, I'm dying to see a South African setup like this all in. Obviously not to the production quality and stuff. I think we're quite a few years away from that sort of thing. But someone to take like the big arena sort of risk, you know what I mean? Like a raised sort of canvas to compete on with a bit of a walkout, you know, I'm talking about 1,000 seats, you know what I'm saying?
Well, there's talks about something like that happening next year. I think we will definitely, not this production value, but we will see something like that. And actually, on that, when we're done watching this, I got some questions about some super fights.
Yeah. So
I would.
We've been in some talks already with some guys to do a similar type of event at the Huddle Park Sports Arena, but it's just about getting the right people on board. To it costs a lot of money to map this event, to put a stream together, to have it recorded, to have an MC. Like if you're gonna do it, like go like full scale, you know.
Sure.
Ring obviously, you can't do this.
You don't have to stream it though, like the first one, especially. Like you can film it and replay files.
Yeah,
like
that's what we're talking about.
Yeah. I think that's a better way to do it first, and go through the hack of trying to organize a stream and get that.
Yeah.
Sort of,
Agreed. They gave $100,000 to the winners of this event. This was the biggest prize pool in jiu-jitsu.
Flow grappling for sure. Please don't kick us off.
Yeah, so there was this double sweep, right? And then Santos just gives up eventually. He's just like, what the? And then he like just lets Marigali try and submit him.
That's not nice.
Yeah. Herbert's weird, bro. Yeah, but I'm sure like as these things get bigger and bigger, we'll get closer to those big production value. If anyone's interested in like assisting in this type of thing, just contact Rock or myself, because we in chats with people, we're in discussions. We've already secured some of the venue.
We got a venue.
We got the actual like arena type setup. It's just about we've got the catering done already. It's just about
vegan? Is it vegan cake?
Definitely not. It's
I'm
lots and lots of alcohol. That's what I'm telling you.
I watched you chow down on that pepperoni pizza at the last DFC. Don't come with
Yeah, bro, I sorted that thing right out.
Yes, yeah. I could do a pepperoni pizza right now. But yeah,
Okay,
like watch this.
about.
This is it.
Okay, I gotta go back a little bit more.
Oh! Break it. Don't break it.
I don't like his thumb position.
Oh, he doesn't like that. He doesn't like that the knee touched him on the jaw. Now he's bitching.
Is he Brazilian?
Yeah.
Yep, normal.
At World Pro this year, he pitched up with completely wet pants. And they were like, did you just piss yourself? And no one could explain it. Watch, he just gives up. He's just lying there now.
This one looks like Vaughn.
I wish Vaughn grappled like that and didn't poke me in the eye and give me a
Is
black
he
eye.
is he pulling the pity coxon? Is that what's going on?
Oh, my goodness. This like's looking for a fight today.
Please can we make shirts?
This like's looking for a fight today.
Like this, and then the back it's like this.
Look, he's not even fighting him. He lets him mount
Mrs.
him.
Coxon on your case, no.
Lets him mount him. Puts on the Americana. Doesn't care.
I'm quite surprised at how long it took him to actually get that American.
And I bet you he was like, yeah, if this guy's gonna cheat, then why should I even put in the effort?
Disqualified. Thank you.
Is he DQ'd for just not giving?
No, he just gave him points for the 4. Called it. That's it. The weirdest fight ever.
Oh, take the win. This
Yeah,
guy's
that's
gonna
about
roll
it,
like a tool.
guys. Can we just see who won Combat Combat Jiu-Jitsu World? You'd have to go to I don't think it'll be on the flow grappling because they didn't cover it.
That was where Phil Gonzalez broke someone's arm.
Yeah.
Oh, Eddie.
I don't know why he done away with EBR. It seems so silly. It was such a successful event.
Not doing it anymore.
Done. No more.
But it's all like combat jiu-jitsu now, eh?
Yeah.
That's his focus.
He even convinced Gordon Ryan to do it, which is flipping crazy.
El Paso's best grapplers. Okay. Nothing on their
Nothing.
Facebook page if you're interested.
Just type results
It's
at the end of your
just
search.
the welterweights, eh?
I think there was ladies and obviously. Oh no, I think that was a super match.
The middleweights.
There we go.
Keeps
If
coming
the
up as
idea
the
sounds
middleweight.
silly to begin with, just try getting slapped while you're rolling. You realize that it's a real thing.
My MMA news.
Wow, that's a classy
How's this website?
It's
That's
like,
a
I think
classy
these
website.
guys use the same guys as MMA SA.
I was actually in on that conference call. It was quite interesting. We'll chat about it next week.
On a mission in the
Yeah, don't
opening
bring up
match.
MMA. Don't bring up that other sport.
Carl Chambers.
Ooh, Usman versus Covington.
Takes a. I'm guessing that's an ankle emoji. Okay.
So
Winner,
quarterfinals.
Chambers by heel hook. Dan Martinez. Quarterfinals. Bro, what is happening here?
Okay, so wait, where?
Phil Gonzalez. Tournament finals.
Carl
Carl
Chambers.
Chambers. Do you want to see?
Yeah, let's check it out.
Bro, I'm so confused by. Oh shit. There is zero.
For these rules, is it sanctioned? Is it sanctioned as a grappling match, or is it sanctioned like an MMA fight?
It's sanctioned like a grappling match.
Just with snot clubs.
But I think in some territories you'd have to sanction it as an MMA fight and just have special rules.
Yeah,
about it.
let's
Okay,
just
it's
get
going to be a
hold
bit loud. I do apologize.
That's fine.
Let's get hold of Master about organizing that.
Is that Kenyan thing?
Oh, yes.
God damn it, Belcher.
Terrible video.
I had a feeling that was going to happen. Somebody's
There's a
bleeding
guy
to
in a
death
pink
here,
rash
bro.
guard wearing a belt.
Look at this fella.
Oh!
I do apologize again. Brace yourselves.
On the far arm.
That's
just
some
hold him down.
that's some hella ground and pound there.
I
Yeah,
love
see,
that the
that
ref's
dude got
wearing
fucked
jeans.
I can't understand Beltran's beard, bro. I'm pretty sure he cut the thing
How's
off.
that belt?
No,
That is
that's
pretty
impossible. That's
slick,
like a
eh?
decade worth of growth there, bro.
Maybe I'm dreaming, bro.
Mm.
Nice.
Nice belt, eh?
Mm.
Very nice belt.
Funny we could see it.
Yeah, it'd be much better if we could see it. Eh? There we go. Look, it's not made out of cardboard, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice.
Okay, so on what we were talking about earlier, what would your favorite, I'm going to use the word super fight, local South African jiu-jitsu super fights, what are the top ones you'd like to see?
I'd love to see Richie Kwan versus Bobby Karajanidis.
Yo? Warren just cut straight to it, eh? Don't choke on those peanuts.
How's this Oliveira, like a week after his fight in Brazil, goes and wins a grappling match?
David Agon used to say to me that Oliveira was coming up the jiu-jitsu ranks when he was in like coming up as like a blue belt in Brazil. He said from like blue belt level this week was just murdering guys already.
What is your question, Rock? Super fights.
Who would you like to see?
What are the sort of like set parameters? Because there has to be some sort of parameters because it's quite an open-ended question.
I mean, just think about people
What is a
at a
super
similar
fight?
weight.
First of all, what's a super fight?
Okay. What are your scratch the super fight? Scratch the super fight word. What are your top matchups you would like to see? Like if we were
Just
to
in
organize
general.
it, so
But let's go piece by piece. Let's say if you could see, okay, so if, like for Warren, for instance, is giving you, if you could see any 2 black belts in the country, but let's do with the same questioning in mind, like the guys of Submission Quest have done, and they've said they've taken guys that are actively competing and that's realistic. Get it together, son.
so
You know.
Monster help.
So who are the kind of active black and brown belts? Let's start there. I think that'll
well,
be.
I think the problem is that pool is so small. But I can think
it's
of,
minute.
I can already think of people like even if they're from the MMA scene that you'd like to see compete in a grappling comp against each other.
I definitely have to give it some thought, but I could think of a few names. I'd like to see Francois Groenewald, for example, like in a gi kind of competition against I don't know.
JB Base.
Yeah,
Bring him
JP
back.
Base, he's in America, so that makes it a little bit hard logistically.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the sponsors of our events are going to bring him back. I think it'll
But
be
I hear what I was saying. I mean,
Even like what we're going to see are like Luke Griffiths versus what's his name? Stein, yeah. That's a cracking fight, but that's only a cracking fight to the BJJ community. You understand what I'm saying? So you've got if you want a super fight, if you think about what's the
marketability.
biggest, what's the biggest super fight you've seen? Galvao versus who did he fight last ADCC?
Philippe Pena.
yeah, but obviously we have to scale it for our scene, you know.
Yeah, but you've got to take that, what they've done then, and kind of put that into a South African perspective. So who would you say is the top of the food chain in grappling? I'd like to throw Don Madge in there if he
Yeah,
can
let's
allow
get.
it.
I reckon like Don Match versus Euron from Gracie Bar Lobo.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
a juicy little match.
Yeah.
You could
For
have
sure.
a career as matchmaker. Eh?
And they're very, very similar weight class, I reckon,
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
That's
I
the
wonder
biggest
if they would
fight.
both be interested. I think the last
I
time
think they would.
Euron
I
competed,
think
I
Don
think
would.
he broke a rib, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken,
yeah.
against
He
Brandon.
did, yeah.
I like to see Luke Griffith versus Dricus Duplessis. Both similar weights.
Maybe Brandon Newman versus Richie. They're similar
Ooh,
weights.
There you go. DeVette versus Richie Lowe, or DeVette versus.
DeVette's a savage, honestly.
He is a scary individual on the map.
Who's the guys from? Okay, so you're thinking nationally. What about there's a couple of serious dudes in Cape Town, dude.
Oh yeah, Martino, definitely get Martino in, yeah. Martino, Richie.
Mark Hume, I guess you got to throw in the pool there.
So who's
we could do a
good-
Mark. They're training together now, but like a Mark Hume versus Dricus would have made a very marketable.
Mark Hume
grappling
versus
match.
Stein de Lange would be a very interesting match.
That's a good one.
What about who's like the top of the MMA grapplers that you can think of? Like big name MMA grapplers, the grappling based MMA fighters at the moment. There's no like
You could
out
do.
and out specialist, I would say.
Yeah. Well, like Lutando a little bit, but he's been quite active
Yeah.
in grappling. You're kind of looking for
You
that guy.
got to throw like Chris Bright in the mix there. What about Chris
Yeah.
Bright versus Don Madge?
Or Chris Bright versus Cameron Pritchard.
Chris Bright versus Don Madge would be sick.
Yeah, Chris Bright versus
Oh,
Cam.
that's a that's a grudge match of note.
Oh, what Cam Pritchard versus what's the other dude from
Cedric.
Yeah, Cedric.
See that again. I think Cam's 2-1 up on the guy.
Is it?
I think he beat him twice and then lost him at the last one.
And
Where the
lost
guys
to
are
me.
respectful enough to take their shoes off before
Yes,
getting into potential fist fights.
That almost got like really
love
hairy.
to see. I'd love to see BK versus Lutando in a no-gi super fight.
Oh yeah.
But you have to do like ADCC rules where
Yeah,
takedowns are scored.
Yeah. That'd be pretty
Oof.
sick.
That would be amazing, actually. There's not many like out and out jiu-jitsu.
I think honestly,
practitioners
if you want a super fight, guys that are relevant, active, well known to the outside public, that's gonna bring attraction. I think you have to have someone like Don Madge in there.
Oh yeah.
Don Madge versus Iran, that would be my first pick.
Yo, that would be power, huh? That
Yeah,
would be
you
power.
got the best of the jiu-jitsu. Well, yeah, the best of the jiu-jitsu.
But what
About
versus the best of
You know, it'd be
Andrew,
interesting.
Andrew Van Zel versus Ruan Potts.
Oh yes.
I think Andrew would wrap him up though, bro.
But that's why you need to put that match together.
There's only one way to find out, boy.
But you know what?
The thing is,
With these
guys
guys,
love to see heavyweights, bro. That's what you got to also bear in mind. Like, in all facets, heavyweights. people
Chad
enjoy
Hanekom
heavyweights.
versus Gareth McClellan.
Yeah, that'd be a goodie.
Mm-hmm.
Neil Geyser, could probably convince him.
Any yeah.
With the those events, it would be interesting to have like you have 2 matches, 1 gi, 1 no gi, and then if it's dead even after the 2, then
Fist fight.
Kickboxing.
yeah, then you
Bare
have
knuckle.
then you have an MMA fight.
Bare knuckle.
Oh man,
Yeah, I think there's some fucking cool matchups in there.
Could,
I'd love to see. I know Don was talking about competing at Worlds a little while ago. After his first fight in the UFC, I would love because I just don't know if guys locally that don't know Don realize how hectic his jiu-jitsu is.
I try with the arc every day. Fucking crazy good, bro.
Yeah, it's just like another level.
yeah.
It's like it makes you feel stupid. It's so good.
And I've heard stories of him in international black belts.
The one time he sang a song and twisted me at the same time.
Yeah. That's happened to me many a time, boy.
There's normally Frank Sinatra in the background.
Yeah. That would be my first pick right now that we've said it. Iran versus Don.
Yeah, and then you could do like another black
And for
belt.
sure we're doing a vlog.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
100%. What about who could Martino fight? Martino's been one
He's
of
a
the...
brown belt, eh?
Yeah.
Make
Him
him fight
versus David?
Jamie, his mate.
That's not a bad matchup.
Oh, Martino versus the vet. This guy's got a career here. Eh?
Yeah.
Jiu-jitsu
Jiu-jitsu
matchmaker.
Oh yeah, you could check on. Do you like the?
Martino versus the vet sounds super juicy. Then we've got two fights on our main card already.
Yo, with this event's getting planned on
So
this podcast.
this is how I'd like to see an event with let's say 2 super fights, for example, legit super fights. Kids, so kids is normally have a gi competition for kids, because I think for some reason I feel like a gi competition will bring more kids. It's more that traditional style of
No, I agree with you.
of competition and so on. You know, like make it traditional
and allow
like
guillotines.
Yeah, allow guillotines.
Allow heel hooks as well.
Allow guillotines. No, maybe not.
While we
heel
at
hooks.
it, wrist locks, neck cranks.
Because
No,
kids
no.
definitely don't want to make
No,
friends.
listen, like a proper traditional style gi competition.
Yeah.
You know, and then either if it's a big enough kids group or it's going to go quick enough, put a super fight right at the end of the kids tournament. So the kids are there and they get to see and witness what high level competition jiu-jitsu looks like.
Yeah.
You know, so they understand, so they can comprehend it. That's also why I say guys like Don Madge, with kids will relate. They'll know who this person is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that'll be a good, and then let the adults continue, then have another good super fight. So, and that would be like your lesser, more attractive kind of super fight, if that makes sense, without like throwing shade at anybody, but just saying like that's where the grapplers want to see what's going on. With the kids, they want to see like Don would be a perfect example, because the kids would know who he is. He's like
Yeah.
this big star, you know what I mean? So they'd be interested. Where it's someone where it's like we said, the vet versus Martino, the kids wouldn't really know who that is. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But the grapplers would be super. So all people that are into it would stick around and watch that. You know what I'm saying? That's how you'd end
Yeah.
that sort of competition.
So what
That's
ADC
where I'd love to see a
What
comp setup.
ADCC did well at the Great North Challenge is they had all the kids, and then immediately after the kids was the pro division. The
Yeah.
intermediate and beginner was at the end.
Yeah.
So
I remember I had to
There was-
make a solid run to my car and get dressed. I was still getting
So there was
dressed
like-
when walking.
they were just like coming down the high of all the kids competing, and then all of a sudden this mat opened up and it was like the best grapplers in the country to go onto the match.
I think the very first match was Jamie Gamble versus Lutando Biko.
it was
for a
crazy
match
awesome,
to
bro.
kick it off?
Yeah, but that's why I'm saying, like, with the super fight, it gives you the ability as a competition host to stop what's happening and focus the attention onto this fight
Yeah.
that's about to happen. So
Agreed.
everybody's tuning in. I'd love to see something like that. I'd love to see Don compete locally. I think purely if it's just for people to see him in his grappling glory,
Yeah.
you know, because you're
No,
not going to
definitely.
get to see Don compete here locally for quite some time.
Yeah, no, definitely.
That'd be
I
cool.
agree completely.
Warren King versus Storm Conrad.
Couple of ladies.
But I love Storm. Storm's awesome.
I know, but how many times this week alone have you been told that you guys have similar styles?
No, that is true. But
Storm's a beast, dude.
I like
Yeah, I
Storm a
love
lot.
Storm.
eh?
Storm used to hate jiu-jitsu.
I remember that.
We used to beg him to come and do jiu-jitsu. He was like, nah, I
But dude,
just do Muay Thai. I just do Muay
he
Thai.
had
And he
this,
went
like-
to Thailand.
He had this like slick Muay Thai style. And we're like, oh my word, tie it together with some jiu-jitsu. And you
He was
are
like a little
oh.
bit chubby. Went to Thailand, came back shredded, like sick Muay Thai. And then,
We were like, oh my word, you can make a MMA champion. Just as it's like hated jiu-jitsu.
He hated jiu-jitsu, bro. And now he
What
like
about
loves
Big Al
jiu-jitsu.
versus Justin Ferrier?
Oh my goodness.
Justin Ferrier rearranged my spine the other day.
Yeah, I'm gonna play very deep half guard.
No, you don't want to get
Continuously.
under Justin. Justin will rearrange everything of yours, bro.
Well, who could we match up with? Will?
I think like Will versus Chris would be a better match.
Chris Bright.
Oh.
That is good. Yeah, Will's got lots of international experience competing overseas.
So yeah, like Will versus Chris. I'd love to see Daryl compete. I don't know who you'd get
Oh,
at
yeah.
61.
Francois Groenewald.
Oh, this over it. This
Killing the,
Hey, Graham.
killing the game.
Hey Graham.
That's for free. Well, we don't actually have a match.
Yo,
Well, I think you just signed that CV, eh, boy?
yes, he's
BJJ matchmaker.
he's the number one runner. That's your new Instagram handle.
What, the jiu-jitsu matchmaker?
Yeah,
Call me JJM for short.
Jean-Jacques Machado. Yeah, that's a great fight.
James Sachs versus Mark Herbert.
They're not even anywhere near each other's size. James, like if
You
you
were
if you
doing
re-
so well, boy.
if you he definitely got ahead of himself.
How
there.
about James Sachs versus Chef?
I mean, once again, like two different Robs.
Jamie
Jamie Gemmell.
Chef versus Ron Potts. The rematch we wanted to see.
That's the rematch you want to do, China. That is definitely okay. You're back in it. You're back in it. But you need to
I
do.
reckon
you
we could convince Chef. We'll give him a lifetime supply of vegan stuff.
You need to do Jamie Gemmell versus James Sachs. That's the fight. You need to
Jamie
make.
was yeah. I think that's a good fight to
VP
make.
versus P. Cool guys.
Yeah, that's it. That was a good first.
If you
first
want
go at
to
it,
be, if you want to be on our jiu-jitsu show,
give us a shot.
hit us up.
We're up. We're on again in 3 weeks.
Hit us up at I want to be on the jiu-jitsu show.
The jiu-jitsu show doesn't have a name yet.
or just DM us.
Yeah. Slide into the So's DMs.
Send
Slide it.
Slide into JJM's.
Send us a fax at
Yeah, just get in touch.
Yeah.
yeah.
Thanks, guys. We're going to try and do more of these in the coming weeks. One every 3 or 4 weeks. Well, and yeah, that's about it. Al, how did it feel being the producer?
Feels pretty good.
How's it?
I get to sling poo at you guys.
It's good, eh? You can do
I
whatever you
need
want.
props
by that
though.
time.
I need props.
You do need props.
I do need props. Like, I don't know. I'll think of something.
We need what? So like you got these little prints over here. You need a Baptist disapproves thing on a handle, and then like just wow, and then have that one of him smiling.
Or we all wear
Baptist
masks.
Baptist disapproved, yeah.
Oh, cool
I
guys.
heard-
Sweet guys, thank you so much. Thank you for listening to our shit.
Make sure you subscribe to the channel.
Yes. Big old
Also,
podcast.
Ruka and Monster. Seriously, get a hold of us. Big opportunity.
Big opportunity. 2 listeners, come.
Hey, we got 2 trolls.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
That means we got more than 2 listeners.
Hashtag
I
waffle.
hope we didn't waffle too much on this one.
Sweet guys.
Peace.
Cheers.